Hello everyone, this video I want to talk about Hua Prison. Hua Prison, interiorly built by the French in the 1896 as Maison Centrale, was a high security facility for the Vietnamese revolutionaries resisting colonial rule. Its structures were designed to instill fear and was adapted over time to serve as a detention center for the prisoners and during the anti-American war for the American powers. You nicknamed it the Hanoi Hilton. After the war, the prison was partially reserved and repurposed as a museum focusing on the sacrifice of Vietnamese resistance fighters. The historical context leading to the construction of Palau prisons was the French colonial rule in Vietnam, aiming to suppress Vietnamese independence movements. French colonial authorities displaced the residents of Phu Khánh, a village known for its traditional ceramics kilns, to build the prison, a courthouse, and a secret police office. The prison, initially called Maison Centrale, was intended to hold on the immediate political prisoners agitating for the independence, and its design brutal construction and reflect the French desire to maintain control. The history of Hoa Prison now is called History Relic. Hoa Prison is located address number 1 Hoa Street, Hanoi. In the past, inland was a village specializing in the making all kinds of casserole, portable earthen stove. So this place called Hoa Village. Hoa means fire earthen stove in Vietnam. Establishment and development. Hoa Prison, recently designed as a Hoa Prison historical relic, is situated at 1 Hoa Street, Hanoi. The facility names derives from the original village that occupies the site, renowned for the earthenware craftsmanship, particularly the production of cooking vessels and portable stoves. The term Hoa translates to fire earthen stove in Vietnam nomenclature. A practice facility included a administrative building for the prison guard, a medical facility, 7 prisoner detention blocks, industrial workshop, iron textile and leather production for maximum security cells. The interior layout consisted of narrow, dimly lit and corridor leading to convenient areas. Their areas were secured by the 4-meter tall reinforced door with sophisticated iron locking systems. Prisoners were secured by chain system mounted to the concreted platforms with minimal and illumination provided through small window aperture. How were Vietnamese political prisoners treated at Hoa Prison? The detention room different size but built with the same design house. Having 4 tile roofs and solid A brick wall painted gray with a few very small windows near a roof, making the rooms very dark and stuffy. And each room open air WC, sometimes no being cleaned. There's face an unit spilled on the floor, giving out a very filthy, slimy, and stinking smell. In Hua Lo prison complex, there was special Jungon or Kachot and a death cell. The prisoner must do hard labor such as repairing house or roads, building darkest, cleaning toilets. They had to do hard work because results affected to their generation. If they couldn't finish their work, they got no food. The French colonists used many different types of punishment and suppression against Vietnamese patriotic and revolutionary fighters being kept in cachot, lack and struggling all night. Hard labor, to name a few. In the last 19th century, guillotines invented by a French medical doctor named Joseph Ines Guillotine. This killing tool were considered by the French more human than other executed methods used in the Middle Age. The guillotine, including following the maintained cutting table in a flat wooden surface, prisoner being executed would be placed upright on the table. Head of the prisoner would be taken through, and the round hole of the guillotines, a slashing shell in an iron frame with a height of almost 4 meter. The inside installed and groove for the cutting blade to work. What's the difference between how the French treated Vietnamese political prisoner and the Vietnamese treated American prisoner of war? The living condition. The French treated Vietnamese political prisoner overcrowded cells, small dark rooms, poor ventilation, sanitary toilets, a little hygiene, prisoners, and lacked good food and medical care. And Vietnamese treated American POWs also unsanitary cramped cells, poor medicine care, malnutrition, and solution disease. But some reports POWs government somewhat better ration and allowance compared to civilian prisoners under French rule. The forced labor punishment, heavy manual labor, roads, dice cleaning. If labor could not meet food ration, it reduced withheld use of the shacklers, solitary confinement, or cachot, night shacking, harsh punishments, the disobedient, and Vietnam treated American POWs. A physically total method reported rope trick, tie bindings with arm behind back, beating, solitary confinement was used, punishment, stock restraints used, food and medical care. Food was poor quality, sometimes mildly very limited medical care, blanket and clothing, and net required many died of disease. Mrs. report sometimes power throughout the special meals, especially for celebrations, some medical scene attention, but still inadequate, especially in the early days. Some pals suffered from the untreated injuries, diseases, deprivation, and execution death sentences. The use of guillotines, executions of the political prisoners, death row wedding, public display of punishment was used to scare, and Vietnamese treated American powers. Accused were not a routine part of polls. The treatment primary goes imprisonment, interroration, propaganda. So Pauls faced danger, but not the same mass executions. The Jew believe in all the prisoner in Hua prison. Give you a reason to support your answer. I think 50-50 is part of historical. Although my country is defeated, no. Vietnam US. When, why, how long did the US involved in Vietnam War? Why the US defeated in Vietnam? Vietnamese called for war against the American to save the nation, or the war